Hello class, my name is Enrique. Today we're going to be going over kicking and punting a football. Just kidding. Little April Fool's joke for you. Today we're doing passing and catching. Alright, now before we get started, let's do a little warm up. Let's get the heart going, blood flowing, get the muscles ready for some action. So, first thing we're going to do, 30 seconds of jumping jacks, alright? So let me just get my timer going here. Alright, 30 seconds. Alright, next exercise, air squats. We'll do that for 20 seconds. 30 seconds jumping jacks, kind of long. So 20 seconds air squats, here we go. Alright, good job. Now, we're going to do some split squats, jumping split squats. 15 seconds on my mark, here we go. Good job. Alright, next warm-up exercise, we're going to do some side shuffles. We're going to incorporate some arm swings, alright? We're going to do that 20 seconds. Alright, last one, hard sprint, 10 yards. So I'm going to sprint that way off camera, and then I'm going to just jog back. Here we go. Whew. That was a good warm-up. Alright, so now that we've got the heart pumping, the blood flowing, muscles are ready for some action, let's do some arm stretches before we get throwing. That way we don't injure ourselves at all. So we'll do some arm circles forward for a little bit. Make those arm circles a little bigger now. Do some arm circles back, start small. A little bigger now. Alright, good job. Now we're going to go right arm across the chest and just hold that position for about 20 seconds, 15 seconds. Alright, switch. Let's go left arm across the chest. Good. We're going to go right arm behind the back. Behind the head, sorry. And hold that for 15 seconds. Alright, switch. And last one, we'll call it Michael Phelps. So, as you remember, Michael Phelps would do this before he would do his event. So we're going to do a few of those. Alright, that's good. Now let's get ready to throw a football. Alright, so before we get to throwing a football, let's talk about how to hold the football. I hold the football like so. Most quarterbacks hold the ball like so. One important note when holding the ball is to keep the space between your hand and the football. 2 finger space is a good rule of thumb. You should be able to fit 2 fingers in there. Now we do that to avoid squeezing the ball. When we squeeze the ball during a throw, we're going to tend to throw ducks, as we call them, where the ball comes out really funky, and we want that spiral when we throw a football. So again, we want to have that 2 finger space when we grip the football. Now in terms of fingers and how they go on the laces, as you can see, my pinky and ring finger are on the laces, and my middle finger is just off of the lace. Now that's what's comfortable for me, and that's how I was taught playing football. Now some people like to have 3 fingers on the laces. It's rare, but again, if you're comfortable with it, you can do it that way. Now this would be the 3 finger grip, like so. Middle finger starts on that first lace right here, and then you leave a lace spacing in between each one. And again, this one is rare as well. Haven't seen anyone do it, but you could, in theory, if you're comfortable with it, just having the pinky on the laces and having the 3 other fingers on the back of the ball. Now the advanced grip, not a popular grip, but when you get to higher levels is necessary to be able to throw the ball without laces, and you would just do the same thing like so, keeping that spacing in between the hand and the football. And those are the grip variations. Now for the purpose of this class, we're going to go with this grip, which is my grip and the popular grip amongst many quarterbacks and many people who throw the football. So that is middle finger just off of the lace right there, ring finger and pinky finger are on the lace. And remember, 2 finger space in between the hand and the football. Alright, so now that we've talked about how to grip a football, let's get to throwing the football a little bit. So we're going to start on a knee. Now if you're right hand dominant, you're going to go right knee down. And if you're left hand dominant, you're going to go left knee down, okay? Now grip the football as we discussed earlier, and we're going to put the ball in the center of our chest, about a fist away from our chest. Bring our left hand, now left hand position or non-dominant hand position on the football, we want it about center of the football, nice and loose grip. Now we do this because when we're playing football, tackle football for example, a nice, comfortable, secure position will prevent us from fumbling the football when moving and possibly getting tackled. But I digress. So we're going to hold the football center of the chest, and we're going to trunk twist like so. Then we're going to go L position. Now L position is very important in anything regarding throwing, such as football or baseball. This is a position of power. So we're going to go L position, and then our left arm is here, getting ready to twist our abdomen, and then we're going to throw from here. We're going to flick. So it'll look like this. It'll go center, trunk twist, L position, throw. Now for the purpose of this drill, we're going to go step by step, and then we'll work into doing it fluidly. So we'll go face our target, trunk twist, L position, flick. And we'll do this for about 10, 15, 20 throws. Now, one thing with throwing, we want to align our shoulders with our target. Our shoulders are much like the iron sights on a gun of sorts. We are the gunslinger, as some people call quarterbacks, gunslinger. We are using our shoulders as that iron sight. So we want to use our front shoulder, and we're pointing it towards our target. And once we throw, so let me go center chest, pointing my shoulder to my target, L position, throw. I want to finish with my back shoulder towards my target. That way I know I'm completing my rotation and we're utilizing as much power as we can. Now I keep saying flick because one of the things that's a mental cue for many people who start throwing footballs or getting into throwing a football. Alright, so I mentioned during the previous drill that I would talk about flicking a little more in depth. Now there is a drill to help with that feeling of flicking or getting your fingers to come off the ball to create a spiral. Now one important note with creating a spiral is you want to feel your index and middle finger come off the ball. That's what's creating the spiral. So when you're gripping and you're throwing it, when you slow it down, you'll see these last two fingers come off the ball, and that's what creates that spiral. So drill to help with that sensation and getting that feel of flicking the ball is a free throw drill of sorts. So you're gonna grip the ball. Again, remember to have 2 finger spacing and grip the ball as we discussed at the beginning of the lesson. And we're gonna hold the ball here by our shoulder like so. So we're here in this position right here as if we're throwing or shooting a free throw. Nice athletic position and flick. Really get that arc. Really focus on arc and flicking and pronating your wrist. So we're here, right? We have the ball and we flick. Really exaggerate it if you have to get that feeling, because that's the same feeling that we're going to get when we release the football when we're throwing. We want to exaggerate it. What we can do is once we extend and flick, finish here, because what I'll show you when we play catch and actually throw the ball standing up is once you release, you want to finish with your thumb down in between your legs, and that'll help you pronate and really flick going forward. Alright, so now we're going to talk about catching. This is my good friend, Damon. When it comes to catching, you want to make a triangle with your hands, and Damon's going to demonstrate that. So as you can see, his hands are making a triangle. His thumbs and index finger are connected, and they're not overlapped. Now this is the way you catch a ball at your chest, at your head, to the side, and to the other side. The idea being that when the ball comes in, you want to center it. You want to catch the ball in between your hands, as you can see. Now, when it comes to a ball that is below the chest line or even below the waist, off to the side, it's a little different. You want to think of naturally how your hands would go about catching the ball below your chest, or below your waist, or at the waistline. So Damon's going to demonstrate his pinkies being together below at the waist. So that's how you would catch a ball at the waist. And this, again, same idea. You want to catch the ball in between your hands. So at below the waist, it comes in, and you're catching it with your hands, not with your body. One thing, you can always adjust yourself to put yourself in the best position to catch a ball. So for example, let's say this ball is at Damon's belly button. It's a kind of awkward spot. It's kind of in between, right? So what he can do is squat down or move himself to position his hands in that triangle. So if the ball's coming at his belly button, he can move himself, adjust, to get that ball in the best position so he can catch it. And then one thing, and when catching the ball, so once we've caught it, what do, right? We're playing football. We want to bring it in to our chest, secure it. So Damon will demonstrate that. So he catches the ball and he brings it in right into his chest. See how he's catching the ball in between both of his hands, creating that triangle? And one important thing to note is that he's extending his hands out in front of his chest. He's not letting the ball travel into his body. He's really focusing, and that was a good adjustment with his hands. Now, that was that pinky waistline type of catch where his pinkies came together and he caught it with his hands. Another good job, creating that triangle and making sure the ball travels to that triangle. Arms extended, catching with his hand. See what he does with some not so good balls. Boom. Good job getting the hands in between. Perfect. So we've already learned how to throw from a knee, and we've learned how to catch a ball. So now the next step is to play catch standing up. So we want to take a nice athletic position, little bend in the knees, feet is shoulder width apart. We're gripping the ball, 2 finger space in between the ball on your hand. Ball's center chest, as we talked about earlier. Shoulders are facing our target, and we take the steps that we learned in the knee drill, the L position and flick, and we put it all together in one fluid motion. Now, if that's too much for you, it's okay to break it down into the steps of L position and throwing. That way you can get a sense of what it feels like standing up. But if you're ready to play catch and throw the ball, then go ahead. So we're here, center chest, nice athletic position, boom. And we're hitting our target in the chest. We're aiming for the chest, but now it's okay if some of the throws are off target. We're doing something new and we're not quite used to it, but we want to visualize ourselves throwing the ball at his chest. So that's why we aim for his chest. And the chest focal point gives our target the best chance to catch the ball here in this square, because obviously it's harder to catch the ball when he has to extend with one hand. Alright, so now I'm just going to throw it a couple times, get a feel for it. Nice fluid motion. Here we go. Alright class, I had a lot of fun teaching you guys how to throw and catch a football. I hope you had fun too, and I hope you learned something new. I look forward to everyone else's lesson plans. Outie.